So what's going on, guys? My name's MrDalekJD and welcome back to a series which I'm calling the Forgotten Easter Eggs of Call of Duty Zombies. This video is going to specifically look into Black Ops 2 Zombies, but if you missed any videos from this series, my last episode was on Black Ops 3. You can click the I in the top right about now, or wait to the end where you can click to see that video. Trust me, you're going to want to see it. But as always, if you didn't know any of these Forgotten Easter Eggs, then be sure to let me know in the comment section. If I missed any, let me know as well. And let's try and go for 9,115 likes on this video. And if you guys are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and become part of the notification squad by clicking that bell as well. But jumping in head first, we're going to start with Nuketown Zombies. You probably didn't expect me to start out with this one, and this is the bonus map which you got if you got the Hardened or Prestige edition of the game, and of course you can buy it separately now. Everyone loves Nuketown. There's very little in terms of Easter eggs on this map, but I think the main forgotten one is the TV messages that you get as you play through the rounds, and this starts on like round 2, it's on round 5, round 10, and it continues on to round 25. And if you go into this house, you will hear Dr. Richtofen through this TV, and this audio is from the map Moon on the last Black Ops game, which is now on Zombie Chronicles as well, where Richtofen is taking over Samantha as ruler of the zombies, and at round 25 Richtofen will be the new announcer in control of the zombies, and all the zombies' eyes will turn blue. You probably didn't forget that fact, but you may not realise the audio or what's going on. And also, as a little bonus one, which I'm sure a lot of you guys don't really forget too much, but you may have forgotten it's there, is the Nuketown bunker. And if you knife it every round, you get a quote from good old Moulton as he's stuck in there during the fallout, and from there he makes his way to transit. And yay, speaking of the subject transit, let's move on to transit. One of the forgotten Easter eggs which I think is really looked over is the TV static messages Easter egg. Now, there's quite a bit of story inside of transit if you really listen in hard enough, and when you go to the TV at the farmhouse, you can sometimes get several messages to play from the TV by interacting with it, which gives you a little bit of background information about the main Tower of Babel Easter egg. And what's different to like any normal radio or TV is that this can take a long time before it actually activates, and it also depends on the player what information you'll hear from it. Now, I won't play these just yet, I'll leave these till the end of the video for those that perhaps aren't too interested in hearing these radios, but they are pretty interesting. But the one forgotten Easter egg which I am 1,000,000% confident that 0.1% of you guys watching will actually know of is the musical Easter egg, or may I say, the changed musical Easter egg. So you guys know that there's 3 teddy bears inside of the map, one on a bench in the bus station, one found on the farm, and then one in the town, and it will play the song Carry On. Well, did you know that if you played Transit before the game came out, it wasn't Carry On at all? In fact, it was the song I'ma Try It Out by Skrillex, which you hear and get at the end of the Black Ops 2 campaign. You probably think I'm lying, and there's very little proof to be able to do this nowadays, but if you captured the game before its release, that was the musical Easter egg, and I think Treyarch done it in a way to stop people from spoiling what the actual song was going to be. If you'd done this with no patches on your console and you activated it in the order bus, depot, town, and then farm, you will get the Avenged Sevenfold song Carry On, which was part of the Transit trailer, which really fits the map, and I don't know why they got rid of it. But if you have this without patches and you do it and activate it the way that I did originally by doing bus, depot, then farm, then town, you would have got I'ma Try It Out by Skrillex, which doesn't fit the map at all. I'm glad that they got rid of it, but I'm so sad that they never put the Avenged Sevenfold song back into the game. But there you go, an Easter egg I'm sure you've all forgotten because you may not have even known it. And Nakda and Toten doesn't really count as a forgotten Easter egg because I'm sure you guys haven't forgotten about it, you just don't really care that it's even there. Now, Die Rise, this one doesn't really have a lot of like forgettable Easter eggs because there's only really the main one. The only one I can really think of to mind is the Troll Easter egg that Treyarch put in, where they had PhD Flopper hidden on the map which couldn't be accessed at all, and even when you modded it and used theater mode, you couldn't get inside the room and the perk wasn't actually active, so it was just a massive troll which they kept running through all the other maps. And now the only other thing I can think of with Die Rise in terms of forgettable Easter eggs is, again, they followed the same TV radio messages as they did in Transit, where around there are quite a few TVs that play a lot of messages from different people which can explore the backstory of this group called The Flesh, which Samuel Stuhlinger was part of, where they eat the actual flesh of the zombies, which is why Stuhlinger can hear Richtofen. Speaking of other maps, Mob of the Dead was another one where you had Mule Kick and PhD Flopper in the docks, but you couldn't get to those at all, and they were both trolls. Now, of all of the jump scares, this is probably the least forgettable, but I'm sure a lot of you may have forgotten about this one, and this is the jump scare on Mob of the Dead, of course. You simply grab a sniper rifle from the mystery box and head up to the rooftop and scope in on the left side of the roof where the fireworks are, and bam, the first ever jump scare. And I always make this example, but I'm sorry, Liam, this was his reaction, and I want to embarrass him again.
It was so scary. Right here, I stood right here, and aim over there with your sniper.
The crawler's down.
What? What is happening, guys? What the hell's happening?
Oh my god!
What? What? Where? 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 Where do you look at?
Now, the only other Easter egg which I genuinely think is a forgotten Easter egg is the second musical Easter egg. We all know there's the rusty cage, but you might not know how to activate where I'll be going. And in order to do this, you simply enter the numbers 115 followed by 935 on the voltmeters at the bottom of the Citadel tunnels. You'll hear the warden say something like these numbers aren't correct, but eventually when you put both of them in, you will hear the song playing. This is not a troll. I've not layered the song over in the game. You can hear it's sort of being powered out by me shooting my guns quite a bit, but that's how you activate the second song. Now we move on to a absolute classic, and this is the map Buried. Now, I don't think this is a forgettable one, but when you play your games you might forget about it because it gets overpowered by the idea of the time bomb and being able to kill a witch just before you throw it down, and then you go back in time and you can get 2 perks, but you can get an extra perk for 10 points. You know the deal. Get the ballistic knife from the mystery box, you go inside the saloon, you stand on top of this white chalk line and you shoot the ballistic knife like a dart at the dartboards and try and get a bullseye. Once you get the bullseye, you'll hear music playing on the piano, you run through the mansion, you get into the maze, and when you go through the house again as if you were to exit, in the hallway when you first come in, there will be a ghost playing the piano, and on top of that piano is a small box, and when you go up to it, it will tell you that you can donate or tip her 10 points, and by doing that, she will give you a random free perk, and this works even if you have 4 perks. It's a good way to get an extra perk, and you can only do this once per game. Now we move on to the final map of Black Ops 2, the Behemoth Origins, and I'm going to use Black Ops 3 for the gameplay just because Origins looks so much better on Black Ops 3 than it does in Black Ops 2 that I don't want to hurt your eyes, because once you get used to the way it looks in Black Ops 3, you don't want to look back on what it looked like. But this, one of the main ones I can think of, is going to be the third hidden Easter egg song. So we have the main one, we also have Shepherds of Fire, but there's another song called Ether, and to activate this song you needed to power up both generator 1 and 5, and on each side of generator 1 the number 1 is painted in white on the ground. You simply hold crouch to go prone, then hold the reload button on each of the numbers. Now this last Origins Easter egg is something which I'm sure a lot of you guys know about, but it's definitely not done a lot in games if at all, especially those that are coming onto Origins with Zombie Chronicles that didn't play Black Ops 2. You're probably a little bit unaware of this, and this is the main jump scare inside of the map. I feel like it's one of the weaker ones, so that's why it's kind of forgotten about, but in order to get this you simply get a sniper, go up to the mound and look in this towards the church, and bam, you'll get this jump scare face and the same scream as you did on Mob of the Dead. But aside from that, that is all for Black Ops 2's forgotten Easter eggs. I wouldn't really count the buildables in Transit as forgotten Easter eggs because they're not really Easter eggs, and I don't think Black Ops 2 had too many things that weren't part of the major scale of things. But if I've forgotten anything, then obviously they are forgotten Easter eggs for sure. Let me know in the comment section. I'll be making a video like this for Black Ops 1 as well as World at War. But again, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to support this by clicking that thumbs up button. I'm going to end the video by playing those transit and diarized radios just so you can refresh your mind on the backstory of the Flesh, as it is quite intriguing, especially since this is the first time we've heard sort of news and stuff from the outer world, not specifically the zombie characters we're with, but rather how the offense of the moon and blowing up the earth has affected everyone around the world. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Hello. This is Jackass Flats calling any human community within broadcasting distance. We're located at standard map coordinates 37 degrees 07 north, 116 degrees 03 west. This is a warning to anyone contacted by a group of mysterious voices. Several of our party began to hear the voices, and their competing instructions and incompatible demands drove a wedge down the center of the camp. Half of the camp is carrying out the demands of only through electronic. This voice is a big, long, and its ultimate goal's unclear. The other voice cannot be heard by humans who have not been on the long madness this way lies. Neither of these instruction sets will understand. Those of us who have not chosen a side have been hunted by both sides, seeking to force us to assist them. Oh God, they found us! Oh! Get back! You get stuck! Just as they would consume us, we must consume them. We are the living, and we are the dead. We are the flesh, and the flesh is us. We will not starve. We will thrive. Science has failed us. He has abandoned us.
Redcon 5, this is Saber 1-0. Our sweep failed to find any evidence of survivors on site. Broken Arrow is not viable for new FOB. That's a negative, sir. Records appear to have been destroyed in a fire prior to the facility being overrun. Sir, we believe staff may have been trying to destroy evidence implicating them in the outbreak. Understood, sir. Confirm drop in T-5. Retreating to safe distance.
To anyone listening, we have food, water, and medical supplies. Enough to last several years. Attention all on this channel. This is George Barkley, former Assistant Director of the CDC facility in Druid Hills, Georgia. Prior to the destruction of our headquarters, our research found evidence that contaminants are now infecting the very air we breathe. As such, exposure of some sort appears inevitable for all survivors. Symptoms are variable, but most subjects display short-term memory loss, psychosis, delusion, and paranoia. Short-term memory loss has also been reported, but as of yet, I have been unable to confirm this. We advise all individuals to monitor their fellow survivors for signs of the above symptoms, paranoia in particular. Ask yourself, are those closest to you really who you think they are? Are they following their own secret agenda? Are they perhaps plotting against you? The dangers presented by such symptoms cannot be overstated. It was with deep sadness that I myself was forced to euthanize 14 members of my own team. My condolences to their families. I hope this message serves as a warning to all survivors. We must all do whatever it takes to ensure our future as a species. Thank you.
If there's anyone out there, please respond. I desperately need help. The others left me, and I'm alone and frightened. Help! I tried to do it right, but the others, they wouldn't listen. This piece goes here. This piece goes there. I couldn't do it on my own. I need help. I really do. The German man stopped talking to me, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
In this new world, we alone are your salvation. We alone can light the way. Hear our words. Heed our call. There is but one path to enlightenment.